All right, we're here at the PBS Studios on 6th Street, and we're sitting with documentary filmmaker Hector Galan. And Hector, tell us about your project, what you have here at South by Southwest.
Well, I'm really excited because I'm world premiering The Big Squeeze, which is a short film, actually. It's a 30-minute film on the next generation of young accordion players. It features an accordion contest, music that I love, you know, and Texas Folk Life, which is an organization, nonprofit here in Austin, sponsors this contest every year. And so they approached me if I was interested in doing a piece on these young kids. And one thing led to the other, and we decided to just create a film. It's funded by National Endowment for the Arts. And I'm really excited that it's going to have its showcase here at the Convention Center on this coming Wednesday.
And what can people expect to see? I mean, you hear accordion contest and the mind kind of wonders. What does it look like?
Well, you know, a lot of people think that accordion is a geeky instrument, or, you know, a lot of people don't admit that they play accordion. But actually, to me, it's fascinating to see young people, especially across genres like conjunto and zydeco and Texas swing, and these kids with the accordions, you know, continuing a tradition that's over 100 years old. Because I love squeeze box music, and it's something that seems to have narrowed in interest. You don't see that much accordion playing. So to see these young kids going at it, and then some of them playing music that's 100 years old, you know, it's being regurgitated. It's just amazing to me, and the fact that the accordion, you know, really has a big home here in Texas, because, you know, the Germans brought it, and with their oompa and their polkas and a lot of Latinos just basically grabbed onto it and have perpetuated it.
Made it their own.
And today, that's the majority of what you hear. But, you know, you do have a lot of accordion music up north, and zydeco, of course. Houston, since Katrina, has become a major zydeco center. And so part of this contest is part of a concert that happens every year, sponsored by Texas Folk Life, called Accordion Kings and Queens. And so this is a component of it. And so we follow these kids as they, you know, play their chops, and it's not the amateur hour. You know, these guys are good. The rule is they can't be professional musicians.
Oh, okay.
They just have to be, you know, like, compete in this contest. And it's funny, it's peppy, it's just a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, and that's why I did it.
That's really interesting. One of the first stories we did for Docubloggers was about this polka band in New Braunfels, and one of the things, they're the Little Fishermen, and Roy Hogg was talking with us about how it's a dying art. And it's a lot of the people that were there dancing that day were talking about it's kind of sad that something that they grew up with and loved as children is no longer really as popular. Right. And so what kind of kids are doing this and keeping this tradition alive?
Well, the majority of the kids are Tejanos. You know, they're Mexican-American kids. You know, I've done other polka accordion. I did a documentary called Accordion Dreams, where I followed the accordion. I actually went to Germany and found out that they don't listen to accordion music up in Germany anymore. If you want to hear real accordion music, you go to New Braunfels. You know, you go to Green.
Right.
I mean, there's where the pockets are of the true German accordion music. But the Tejanos, when they brought it here, they embraced it, and then what they did is they added lyrics to the music, and then they stood up. You know, because accordion music was played sitting down for years, and then they added straps to the accordion. Then they got rid of the bass keys, because these are button accordions. They call them diatonic accordions. They're different than chromatic accordions. Chromatic accordions are the ones that are huge, with all the keys and all these buttons, or piano, or you could play a symphony on those. But the button accordion, there's no sharps or flats, and the Mexicans, they got rid of the bass buttons. So now, for a true conjunto music to apply, you have the guy playing the 12-string bass bajo sex.
Supplying that part.
So they supply that part. So these guys just go at it with, what's complex about it is that it's like a harmonica. The diatonic accordion is like a harmonica. You blow out, it's one sound, you blow in, it's another sound. Same thing. Very complicated. So I'm amazed, and I don't play accordion. I wish I could, but I'm amazed at what some of these young kids can do. And the majority of them that have perpetuated to this day the music are the Mexican Americans and the people in Mexico along the border, even though the Texas music is a little bit different.
Right. What's the age range of the kids?
Up to 21 years old.
21.
Yeah.
So, do you get the real young kids, or is it mostly?
Well, there's been some very young kids. They didn't compete in this particular film, but I've seen kids in San Antonio playing the accordion at 8, 9 years old. And usually it's mostly males, but you're seeing a lot of females. I feature a young woman. Her name is Jenny Mac, who does Texas swing, unbelievable, on the accordion. A lot of it, historically, a lot of women haven't picked it up because of the instrument.
Right.
A lot of times the music was associated to cantinas,
Okay.
and you wouldn't see women in the cantinas, these bars. And then a lot of times there's no sheet music for this stuff.
Okay.
So you use a maestro, somebody that's on you constantly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a little bit, today you're starting to see more and more women. There's some extraordinary female players out there.
So do you feel good knowing that, or hoping that your work is actually maybe perpetuating accordion music?
I hope so. I mean, people will see it and they'll say, you know what, this is fun. We don't have to hide in the closet to play this stuff, and once you hear these kids, and that's what makes the movie so great, because of the young people, they're really into it. And it just makes you want to dance, and it's dance music. It wants to make you do a polka.
Got to be fun.
And I can do a mean polka, man, and I love...
Are you going to show us?
Well, that right here. I usually tell people, if you don't know how to polka too well, stay away from the corners. Stay in the center,
Now, yeah, you're a big PBS guy. You've done a lot of work for PBS. Do you have anything in the pipeline for PBS?
I do. Well, the Accordion Dreams is going up to PBS for their consideration. There's no air date for it yet or not, but I am working on a 2-part a special called The War Within, about Latinos in America's wars, that PBS has funded for, at this stage, R&D, as we're working on a proposal. But I just recently had a feature on PBS just last year called Los Lonely Boys, Cotton Fields and Crossroads, that also had its world premiere here at South by Southwest.
Big band here in Texas.
Big band in Texas from my hometown of San Angelo. And then I had another piece on PBS Plus called A Migrant's Masterpiece, which was the story of Archbishop Patrick Flores out of San Antonio, which was actually the first Mexican-American bishop in the Catholic Church, in the history of the Catholic Church.
Right.
And so, I continue. I've done many projects, series, front lines, and PBS has really been my home. I love working for PBS. To me, I think it's a national treasure, and that we should support. And it gives me the freedom to do the stories that I want to do, that a lot of the other networks, and I have dabbled at the History Channel and so forth, but PBS, I think, is still a very high quality, and places you can go to and find new experiences,
Do you think that in the changing media landscape that people are going to see PBS as a national treasure? Do you think that it's going to continue to get the support that it needs?
Well, it's highly competitive these days. The whole universe has changed. So where you have other channels like History and Discovery and Animal Planet, they all are carved into what PBS does best.
Right.
So basically what's going to happen here, and especially given the economy and the underwriting, is that we have to reinvent ourselves. Mm-hmm. And that's happening. People are jazzed to do that, to find new programming, to bring in new audiences, to figure a way that we continue to be that place, even though there's some things that we will not do, that you find in other channels,
right,
because we believe in quality programming. That's happening right now. And we know what the landscape is out there, economically. And so we're just, trying to be creative and find new ways to be relevant. And I think we are relevant, and we will continue to be relevant.
Speaking of relevance, I wanted to kind of end this talking about the new age of new media, citizen journalism, everything else. We were at the South by Southwest Interactive Festival, and have you made a foray into any of that as either a research tool or as a way to promote your work?
I don't think you can avoid it. I mean, that's the future. And to me, I was very amazed to see a big PBS Interactive sign out here. Even though we're not the big broadcast gorilla, this is what's happening. This will be the future. And I have dabbled in this area with Microsoft, with Xbox, CPB funded program on trying to develop new technology for, I was working with Microsoft Xbox Entertainment Network as a broadband experience on a show that I was creating. The broadband channel never got launched, but it really helped me enter this world of, and it's so important, even in the marketing world, viral marketing world, this is where it's all going. I mean, it's all going this direction, and so we need to open our eyes. It's been kind of tough for old dinosaurs like me.
Well, I was going to ask, do you view this as a positive thing mostly? Is it a mixed bag?
I think it's a positive thing, and it's been very hard for us from the old school to move into the new technological new school, the whole digital world, including basic things like what camera we're going to use.
Right.
It's all changing so rapidly, whereas before you had for decades Beta SP or broadcast or film was a standard. Now it's nonlinear television. It's been real tough because I'm an editor.
Yeah.
It's been really tough for me to move into this whole nonlinear Final Cut Pro editing situation, whereas my kids, it doesn't daunt them. I mean,
you grow up with it, and it's a completely different experience.
But for us, it's like, oh my God. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there, and I'm real happy, and I'm real excited for the future.
You should make them edit tape to tape just so that they can say they've done it.
Do you know I've had some young cats from University of Texas at the RTF department come and intern, or I hire them as assistant editor. They had never even seen a tape machine before. And I'm going, what is this? A tape machine, like a Beta SP machine or something. That's the whole new world, and that's the reality. I mean, we're even shooting today without tape.
Yeah.
P2 cards.
We're doing that right now.
Exactly. So
the film is The Big Squeeze.
The Big Squeeze.
And where can people see it?
7 o'clock Wednesday night. This coming Wednesday at the Convention Center.
Great. So, and is there a website people can check out?
Actually, not right now. I mean, they can go to my website, Galan Inc. GALANINC www.galinc.com. But there will be a website, and that's coming. This is early on. It's world premiere, and we're hoping. We're now finishing the DVD that has an hour of bonus material in it, of full performances, and then we're hoping to see this on national PBS so people can enjoy it.
All right, well, look forward to The Big Squeeze. Hector, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right.